Sure, ready? Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jason from Straight Edge Knives. I'm here with Mr. Ed Calderon, Ed's Manifesto, expert in all things we need to know about as far as I'm concerned. But here today with him to talk about his new design with Tops Knives, the El Pionero. And tell us about the inspiration about it, a little bit about yourself real quick.
Sure. I'm from Mexico. Grew up in Tijuana. Grew up on a pig farm for part of my youth. So most of my exposition to knives has been purely utilitarian from the start. Then I went on to work for the government in Mexico for about 12 years doing counter narcotics, executive protection, a bunch of other crazy stuff. It's not a job that you can retire from, so I had to cut and run basically after 12 years. Came over here to look for the American dream, found it. Still a real thing.
Yeah.
And I came here with my love of knives. One of the things that I teach people as an instructor is how to justify what you carry and some of the essential that you might carry, or how you would carry some of these things, both in your backyard and also internationally. For some of us, having to travel with a pointed object or a knife, I think of them as tools of creation first. So it's a tool for me always. During my travels and training, I got to do several classes with members of the military, law enforcement, correctional officers that show up to some of these things with their own visual experiences of what goes on in the world. And a certain knife company somewhere sent a bunch of their knives to be tested. And we always have a cheap knife there to compare it to. And the comparison we made that day was, I just went across the street, went to Walmart and bought a kitchen knife, like a very fancy $8 one. That knife outperformed most of the self-defense knives that were there. Simplicity, geometry, handle shape, but it proved the point. Made that specific kitchen knife pretty popular for a while.
I heard they can go for a pretty penny on eBay right
now. I should have invested in that company before I pimped them out. So when it came time to work with Tops, I actually went out there with them to do a class, and I got to visit their shop. And they're a company I've followed for a while now. Amazing company.
Yes, they are.
So when I went there, they were like, "Hey, you want to do a knife?" Like, sure. Jokingly, I took out a kitchen knife and said, "Just make me this one, but more sturdy." That became a conversation, and slowly but surely, their design team and some of the drawings that I sent them turned into this, which is it's basically a very overbuilt kitchen knife in a lot of ways. That's what it is. It is designed with this little feature, which has become a signature for a lot of the stuff that I do. That finger divot is something my mother used to put on knives for no combative reason at all. Uh-huh. This was something that she would modify on her knives so she would know where the edge was while she was peeling carrots or doing something like that, so she didn't have to look at the knife to know where the edge was. So
I thought, here I am thinking it's just a finger groove. I mean, it is.
It's just a finger groove.
There's a function for it.
But it's basically there to tell you where the edge is. Like in a combative sense, passing the knife from one end to the other. That's how you kind of tell where things are. That's what it's for. Rounded top of the knife, so you can reinforce it with your thumb. Length of the blade is something about the extent of an index that's purposely made so you can conceal it in your hand, basically. And I don't like knives that dictate how you hold them. So a ring on it or finger grooves, stuff like that, for me, it's not something I like that much. I like handles that you can pretty much grab and hold any way you want. And all these motions that I'm doing are not combative in any way, shape, or form. They're not martial arts related. They are processing beef or pork. That's what these handholds are from. And if you know a little bit about just people that do bad things, people that grow up rurally, hunters, butchers, those types of people, have way more information, have way more of an experience base when it comes to flesh than most people do.
Yeah.
Most martial artists do. So a big part of the knife is specifically the utilitarian side of it. I want something that I can utilize as a tool first. Realistically, if you can't process an animal with it, it has no business being used for other
For
things.
self-defense.
Yeah. So that's most of the inception of the design. I'm usually known for curved blades. I know those are harder to sharpen in the field. They're weird for some people that aren't accustomed to a knife shape like that. So this is a pretty good alternative. A simple, straight blade. False edge on one side, penetrating tip. Good edge, good handle. And all of the ways to carry it that you
Very light
want.
too. When I
Light.
picked it up, I'm like,
And,
you see carry that every day.
Something you can take out of your waistline, use to process, conceal it in hand so you don't see it, so people won't be alarmed if you're in California or something. Take out, cut, put back, and discretion is a big part of how I think about knives. I'm usually not in the country. I'm in an urban area, so taking out something, cutting, putting it back, and just being seamless with it. Something you can only get with something small, something like this. Right?
That's an awesome blade. I know a lot of guys that I work with are like, hey, get pictures of it. A lot of guys are interested in that knife at work, and
yeah,
a lot of people are interested in that knife in general. And
another cool thing about it, and if you're gonna think about it more in a tactical type setting, the finger divot actually adds retention to it, not on the downward but on the outward, which is something that a lot of people don't think about sometimes when it comes to knife designs and handles. Pointed objects have a tendency to get lodged into flesh. If you're a hunter, if you're a butcher, if you stab into a bone before, any sort of large joint, that's a good way to lose a knife. So that finger divot is also there to create a choke point for it to be able to extract.
a little extra retention.
Yeah, it's just a little extra retention for retraction. And again, Tops Knives did an amazing job with this guy. They even put the Sneak Reaper logo on there on the handle.
That was really cool. Really subdued, but cool. Yeah, it's like nice. Well, hey, thank you so much, Ed, for taking the time to explain all that to us. Thank you so much for all that you do, getting all the information out that a lot of people need to hear, I think. Where can everybody find you? I know things come and go with you because of
I'm one of the most banned individuals on the planet, I guess. I was banned off Telegram, which is amazing. I think I'm probably the first person ever been banned off Telegram. You can find me at, you can search for Ed's Manifesto on Instagram or Manifesto Radio Podcast on Instagram. That's how you can find me. Ed's Manifesto on Twitter. We have a Patreon account. So if people want to look at the spicier stuff that I show, that's how you get access to it. There's in an age of censorship, we have to put things behind a wall. So if people want to learn, I have a bunch of my online training material there and just notes, videos, horrible stuff that you should look at so you know what things are. Yeah. So
this world isn't candy coated, that's for sure.
Yeah. So www.edsmanifesto.com and Tops Knives
coming real soon. Hey, thanks again, sir. I greatly appreciate it. This is Jason, Ed, Straight Edge Knives out. Stay safe, stay sharp.